Kulot, sunog, lindol, bagyo, mga kalamidad na likas sa ating mundo, napapahamak ang buhay at kabuhayan. Kaya naman kailangan ng paghandaan.
Maging handa, maging alerto, tungkulin to ng bawat mamamayan. Kaya tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Laging handa.
Kalamidad ay maaasahang darating
Sa di inaasahang oras.
Kaya naman hindi na dapat hintayin. Unahan na habang di pa natataranta.
Maging handa, maging alerto, tungkulin to ng bawat mamamayan. Kaya tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Suriin mo mabuti ang iyong kapaligiran. Saan ka pa nakatira? Diyan ba ay bumabaha? Tuwing ka magpagkain, bumot pang silbi, first aid kit, mga gamit panligtas ng buhay dapat mabitbit. At sakaling lumindol o sumabog ang duga, meron bang matadaanan palayo sa kasawian? Panahon na ay malipit at ang hangin hagupit. Mabuti na lang na tayo ay laging nakahanda. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Education with the support of World Vision Development Foundation.
Guro, naghahanap ka ba ng mga karagdagang babasahin, lesson plans, videos, at iba't ibang online activities na makakatulong sa pagtuturo mo ng climate change? Maaari mong bisitahin ang bit.ly/DepEdCCE. Ang microsite na ito ay naglalaman ng mga materyales at karagdagang babasahin para sa pagtuturo ng climate change. Ito ay binuo upang matulungan ang mga gurong tulad mo sa pagtuturo ng climate change sa mga kabataan. Mahalaga ang climate change education upang mas marami pa ang mahikayat na intindihin at kumilos laban sa climate change. Makikita sa microsite ang mga sumusunod na pahina. Home. Ito ay nagbibigay ng pangkalahatang ideya ng kung ano ang matatagpuan sa site. Climate Change Education in the Philippines. Ito ay nagbibigay ng pangkalahatang ideya ng climate change education sa Pilipinas, lalo na ang mga proyektong ginagawa ng Kagawaran ng Edukasyon. DepEd's References and Resources. Ito ay naglalaman ng mga resources na binuo ng DepEd para sa mga guro at mag-aaral. References for teachers na naglalaman ng mga references para sa mga guro sa pagtuturo ng climate change. Learning Resources. Ito ay may 3 categories, ang videos, lesson plans, at online activities. Ang mga videos ay mula sa lehitimong educational channels. Nagdagdag din ang DepEd DRRMS ng mga timestamp at guide questions. Ang mga lesson plans ay maaaring gawing inspirasyon sa inyong lessons. At ang online activities na na-develop ng iba't ibang institusyon na maaaring magamit para sa blended learning. About DepEd DRRMS na nagbibigay ng karagdagang impormasyon tungkol sa Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service o DRRMS na tagapag-ugnay sa pagpapaliwanag ng climate change adaptation and mitigation sa kagawaran. Ang lahat ng mga babasahin at learning resources ay mayroong APA citation. Kaya ano pang hinihintay mo? Bisitahin ang bit.ly/DepEdCCE. Tulong-tulong tayo sa pagpapaigting ng makakalikasang edukasyon. Sama-sama sa pagsulong ng edukalidad.
To start our program, please all rise for the Philippine National Anthem, and please remain standing for the opening prayer.
Bayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
A prayer for teachers. Giver of all wisdom and greatest of all teachers, look upon our teachers with love. Grant them the resolve to nurture our eager minds and to never give up on us who fall behind. Bless their hearts, for they rejoice when we succeed, and encourage us when we fail. Endow them with gentle patience, for the path of learning is never easy. Kindle a spirit of passion in them. It is the flame that ignites the love of learning in us. Help them see the potential in each student. Their belief in us means much more than the grade we make. Instill in them a commitment to keep on learning. It shows us to not fear new knowledge and experiences. Inspire them to touch the future. They influence how big a dream we dream for ourselves. Bless our teachers who have come before, for their work endures to this day. Let the light of your example shine upon all teachers, to build up with their words, to love with their mind, to share with their heart. Amen.
Good morning everyone. Magandang umaga sa lahat. Mayong buntag sa tanan, mayong aga sa inyong atananda. My name is Val Emil Vestil and I will be your host for today. Welcome to the launch of the Samut-Saring Buhay, a Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for teachers developed by the Department of Education, Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, or DRRMS, and the Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines, or BCSP. This launch coincides with the important day that we will celebrate tomorrow, May 22. The United Nations has proclaimed May 22 as the International Day for Biological Diversity to increase understanding and awareness of biodiversity issues. Now, this year's theme is We Are Part of the Solution. Also, we are commemorating the National Endangered Species Day today. Indeed, we young people, and especially our teachers, have a big role to play in protecting our biodiversity. Now, today, very exciting. Later on, we will have a quiz bee for our viewers and an orientation on how to use our biodiversity toolkit. Now, to formally open the program, let us welcome the president of the Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines, Mr. Rainier Manalo.
Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines would like to congratulate every one of us for finally realizing this Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit, Samut-Saring Buhay. This collaborative project of the BCSP with the Department of Education, Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service is truly a great product. Creating a common platform in understanding Philippine biodiversity that could be tailored fit for grade 3 to senior high DepEd teachers is not an easy task. Although the content of this toolkit includes semi-technical materials, we intend to keep it relevant to our target audience. We are also aware that this often involves complex issues in our daily lives in terms of ecological, social, and economic significance. But at the end of the day, we require policy harmonization for conservation and sustainability needs. This toolkit is for all of us. This is one, if not the first ever document created featuring most of our Philippine wildlife species and habitats as a common guide for Department of Education K to 12 teachers. This is made by Filipinos for the Filipino.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manalo. I'm sure our dear viewers there over at our Facebook live stream are excited to get a glimpse of the toolkit as one of the documents featuring our wildlife and rich habitats made by Filipinos for the Filipinos. Recognizing the vital role education plays in forwarding initiatives in ecosystems restoration, DepEd, DRRMS, and BCSP prepared this material to equip teachers with the appropriate and ample knowledge in teaching Philippine biodiversity. Let us now hear the words of wisdom from the esteemed leader of the Department of Education, my fellow Silimanian, Secretary Leonor Toles Briones.
Good day to all defenders and warriors for biodiversity in our planet. Today's learners are decision makers and leaders of tomorrow. In the years to come, they will be taking up space and they will forge a more promising future for the world. Our time has witnessed the emergence of a new breed of dynamic young people who are more engaged in social issues around them, including the need to promote biodiversity and prevent the degradation of the environment. Now, more than ever, we must give them the appropriate support and platforms to empower them. Recognizing the role of the youth as partners in nurturing and renewing Philippine diversity, we in the Department of Education hold the responsibility to equip more learners with the appropriate learning and thinking skills that will enable them to become agents of change and advocates of biodiversity. Grounded on our core values, maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. We remain committed to ensuring that our learners will grow to individuals who deeply care about the environment and are ready to partake in its restoration. In this endeavor, we must also integrate biodiversity conservation in basic education. Our teachers have to be trained to enhance their methods of teaching so that they will inspire our learners to actively participate in environmental sustainability and preservation. And for our part, I have been vigorously campaigning for reducing our dependence on paper-made learning materials, for example, because the annual demand for more and more and more paper has resulted in the cutting of trees and grass, and also it's a very expensive operation, and also furthermore triggering floods and other natural disasters. We cannot make knowledge as an excuse for destroying our environment. And so we're shifting more and more to alternative methods of teaching so that we will not have to replace printed material every year and cut more trees. Now, this diversity toolkit was created to be utilized as helpful material for our teachers and learners to know more about Philippine biodiversity, the threats it faces, particularly the demand for so much paper on an annual basis, demand not only for printing but also for exporting to other countries, and how the children themselves can participate in its protection. Through this toolkit, we hope that our teachers and readers will gain a deeper appreciation of life and God's creation, the complex connection with our country's unique biodiversity, and the importance of actively taking part in sustaining it for future generations of Filipinos. Thank you.
Incredible. Isn't it so great that we have an education secretary who believes and stands for integrating biodiversity conservation in basic education? Maraming salamat po, Sec Liling. Now, in the midst of changing climate, our biodiversity may be destroyed by extreme weather events like typhoons and drought, ocean acidification, and sea level rise. In addition, protecting our biodiversity, especially the ecosystems, is one of the key strategies to help curb climate change. To provide a message of support to the endeavor of DepEd and BCSP, let's welcome Secretary Emmanuel M. de Guzman from the Climate Change Commission.
It is my distinct honor and pleasure to address you in today's launch of the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit. Human existence is but a speck in the existential timeline of our planet. And yet, in this brief time span, humans have significantly changed the Earth more than any other life forms. We have shifted shorelines, cleared forests, built cities, extracted the riches of the Earth, and burnt enough fuel to warm the entire planet. Certain species have lost their homes or have vanished forever. Linked as we all are in the web of life, this loss also means the degradation of our ecosystems and the waning of life on Earth. It is imperative, therefore, to pursue development that is mindful and promotive of balance and sustainability. With this toolkit that will help students and teachers learn more about and take action on protecting and conserving biodiversity, you are animating this pursuit. Clearly, biodiversity is key to human survival. We welcome this effort, given the multidisciplinary, multi-stakeholder approach this massive undertaking entails. Government cannot do it alone. We need the whole of society to pursue the balance and the sustainability we seek. More importantly, through education. We need every citizen, especially the youth, to take part in this initiative and to make a difference for people and planet. We commend the Department of Education for spearheading this project. This is a timely launch as it coincides with the International Day for Biological Diversity. As its theme states, we're part of the solution. And while we could act within our own local spaces, the effort must also be worldwide to be truly effective. Although much remains to be done, today's event, along with the international observance, is an important stride towards building a culture of conscientiousness and care for the environment. I am confident that more will join our ranks in this ever expanding movement to pave a greener and more biodiverse development pathway for the future. Thank you. Mabuhay.
Thank you so much, Sekmani. I loved it when Sekmani mentioned that we are mere specks of dust in the greater and bigger ecosystem. And it's really an acknowledgement that we are just coexisting on this planet with our rich biodiversity as well. Maraming salamat po, Sekmani. Before we proceed to the quiz B, let's first hear from one of our country's top environmental lawmakers, the principal author of various laws to protect the environment, such as the Climate Change Act, the representative of the Lone District of Antique, Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda.
Happy International Day for Biological Diversity to everybody. Thank you. Congratulations to the Department of Education, especially to your Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service for crafting the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers that we are launching today. When I was in the Senate, and that was for 3 terms since 1998 till 2019, we've always emphasized that along with strong environmental laws and constant follow-through in its implementation, we need wider shifts in mindset. We need environmental education that will change how we see the world and our place in it. We need to raise awareness and instill a deep, intense appreciation of the richness of our biodiversity, the problems it now faces, and how we can move forward. The toolkit that we are launching today is an invaluable contribution in this endeavor. We're very happy that we're able to work with you in reviewing the knowledge, the materials that you so rigorously develop. And I hope that our input is proven useful. It's a very timely initiative, especially in the context of COVID-19. We've seen how the virus is taking so many lives, shrinking economies everywhere, changing the world as we know it. Without taking steps to safeguard our biodiversity, we could be looking at a future with more frequent, more severe, more fatal diseases than COVID-19. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services says that there could be some 1.7 million still undiscovered viruses in mammals and in birds, almost half of which could infect people. And as we lose biodiversity, we also weaken the natural buffers for infectious diseases. Add to that the serious threats brought by the climate emergency, and we're looking at a grim future for humanity. But this doesn't have to be the future we leave for our children and our students. We can still take the path to a greener, more sustainable, more resilient, healthier, safer, and more biodiverse world. We can plant local flowers, forgotten foods, native trees, fruits, and vegetables. We can help protect our natural habitats. We can conserve our use of energy and water. We can reduce our ecological footprint. We can buy local and support our farmers. We can educate ourselves. So many others with the help of resources like this toolkit. Of course, the onus is not on individuals alone because we have the most impact and contribute the most to the problem. And businesses must also take the lead, given that we can use our voice to support leaders and to advocate for policies that will conserve our ecosystems. We can use our pockets to push industry towards more sustainable practices. Raising awareness through initiatives like this toolkit is a first step towards effective, sustainable action in that direction. And so again, to DepEd and to the DRRMS, maraming salamat. As we say in Antique, duro gid nga salamat for developing this very helpful toolkit. I want a copy and could use it for LGUs as well. To all the teachers and personnel with us today, I encourage you to make full use of it. The future of our country's biodiversity and our planet's survival is in the hands of the youth, hands that you guide and instruct and care for and lead. And in doing so, may you draw the strength and the knowledge from this toolkit. And may this launch mark the first step towards a more impactful change in direction of our country and our region and our planet towards a future that is cleaner and greener, that is more livable and more sustainable, that is more biodiverse and more abundant. Again, thank you, congratulations, and happy International Day of Biological Diversity to everybody.
I also want a copy of this toolkit. Please beckon him in. But of course, our teachers and viewers later on will see how to get access to this biodiversity toolkit. Now, seriously, I think it's very comforting to know that we have government officials who are our strong allies for climate action and environmental and biodiversity conservation. And we are blessed that Deputy Speaker Lauren Legarda is one of them. Maraming salamat po, Deputy Speaker Legarda. Now, before we proceed, I think it's now time to proceed to our Biodiversity Quiz B that our teachers, learners, and participants have been waiting for since last year. Patagal na pala to. All right, the viewers, especially our beloved teachers, are eager to win the prize and be recognized as winner. From all over the Philippines, we all know that we always have that participative and competitive spirit in us. We love the opportunity to learn more about our biodiversity. Here are the mechanics for this morning's Biodiversity Quiz B. First up, anyone in the Philippines can join the Quiz B for free. Although we prefer teachers to join our Quiz B, anyone, if you are in the Philippines right now, you can definitely hop on in. We are using Mentimeter, so only the first 2,000 viewers who register now will be part of the Quiz B. You may access the Quiz B right now by typing www.menti.com in any browser and use the code 96756164. You may also use the QR code, which will be flashed on the screen, to join our Quiz B. For those who will not be able to join the Menti, you can still participate by typing your answer in the comment section of our Facebook Live. But, however, only those at the Menti will get points. Later, before we start the quiz, you have to type your full name so that we can recognize you as the winner. For this Quiz B, there are 10 questions. The top 3 participants who will get the highest score at the end of the Quiz B will graduate valedictorian. No, will be announced as the winners and will receive a reward of load allowance amounting to 300 pesos for the first place winner and 100 pesos each for the second and third place winners. Grabe, sana hindi na lang ako nag-host. Gusto kong sumali sa Quiz B. They will also receive a certificate of recognition. Please be reminded that aside from being correct, you also have to answer fast, as the points will be based on that. So this is a Quiz B of wit and of speed. Now, the top 3 participants must take a screenshot of their screen and send the email to drrmo plus ccam at deped.gov.ph so that DepEd BSP can send the prize. All right, If you are all ready, I want you to comment on our Facebook live stream in your local dialect that you are ready to join in on our game. Again, you may access the Quiz B by typing www.menti.com in any browser using your phone, using your laptop. It's very accessible. And then use the code 9675 and 6164. Once prompted, please type your full name, yung buong pangalan po, so that we may be able to track the winners of this Quiz B. All right. Can I see ilan na ang ating participants? So that, oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have, hindi ko makita, sobrang liit. We have 200 coming in. If you are watching this right now, if you're a participant, if you're a learner, if you're a teacher, and you have time to do this Quiz B, please, this is a great opportunity. Of course, this is a great opportunity to learn more about our biodiversity as we lead on to launching our biodiversity toolkit. Again, you can type in 9675-6164 on our menti.com. That's our code. I see that we are crowding inside. Very, very awesome. And we'll just wait for a couple more seconds to get in more and more participants. Again, these are 10 questions. I have never read these questions before. Well, my element of surprise. And no, but while I was reviewing through the questions, I myself learned a lot from the questions. And I'm sure this is a great learning opportunity for our learners and participants and teachers who are with us. All right, we are now at, ilan na ba tayo? 300. Ayun, the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. We are now at 380 participants. Meanwhile, tomorrow, May 22, is a special celebration, the International Day of Biodiversity. I'm not sure if I got that right. International Day of Biological Diversity. That's it. May 22, we're celebrating that tomorrow. But to celebrate and to enjoy IBD, we're going to have this Quiz B, and lots of people are coming in. 450. We are now almost at 500. Again, if you're interested to participate in this Quiz B, there are 10 questions, and the top 3 participants who get the highest score at the end of this Quiz B will be announced as the winner. May prizes po tayo para sa ating Quiz B for this morning. 300 pesos for the first place winner and 100 pesos each for the second and third place winner. I think this is great load allowance, especially that we are now all into the online learning landscape. Again, you may access the Quiz B by typing www.menti.com in any browser and use the code 9675-6164. Make sure to type in your full name so that we may be able to track our winners and our leaderboard. And we have reached the 500, sabihin ko sana 500 pesos. We've now reached, kasi pera yung nasa isip ko para sa prizes natin. We have now reached the 500 milestone. We have 500 participants from all over the Philippines. We are giving you the last 30 seconds to join in on our 10 question Quiz B. I think this is one of the first times that we're doing something like this, and we would love to have you be part of our Quiz B. Now, again, if you are just coming into this live stream on DepEd, go to menti.com, www.menti.com in any browser on your phone, on your laptop, and use the code 9675-6164. All right? For those who will of you who will not be able to join Menti, you can still participate by typing your answer in the comment section of our Facebook Live. But only those in our Mentimeter will be tracked and will have a chance to win the prizes. All right, so we can begin our quiz B. I guess everyone is ready. We can start, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the Philippines. It's now time to begin our quiz B. Tadadang! Gusto ko yung mga sound effects. Tadadang! Let's start with our first question. When is the International Day for Biological Diversity celebrated? Is it June 5, March 3, May 22, or April 22? 3, 2, 1. Time's up, and the correct answer is May 22. We have a majority who got it right. That's right. May 22 is International Biodiversity Day, or the International Day for Biological Diversity. We're part of the solutions. Hashtag for nature. June 5 is World Environment Day. March 3 is World Wildlife Day. And April 22 is Earth Day. Ayan, memorize ko po lahat ng dates. Kahit birthday ng ex ko, memorize ko po. Joke lang po. Congratulations to all of you who got it right. Let's proceed to our second question. Oh, sorry muna. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. All right, we have 960 points up there by Alpha Mojica. 957, very near margin there, very close margin. Dearly Ann Balayong, tied with Ronnie May Pecana. Again, this is only the first question. The leaderboard and ranking can change at any point. So make sure you make pindot. You make pindot very fast, no? When you have the answer to that question. Okay, let's proceed to question number 2. Number 2. Gusto ko yung may pa-echo. Number 2. Okay, our second question for this morning's Biodiversity Quiz B. A species that can only be found in one specific area is referred to as blank for that area. Is it migratory, endemic, native, or introduced? You have 5 seconds to answer this question. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Let's see. Oh, we have mixed answers there. The correct answer is actually endemic. Okay, we have close migratory and endemic. Endemic species is actually a native species that is found exclusively in a specific area and nowhere else. Like the love of my life, specifically nandito siya. Endemic siya dito. Chareng. No, it's not migratory. Migratory species are species whose part of a population cyclically and predictably move between separate areas, often crossing national jurisdiction and boundaries. It's also not native species, because native species are species that naturally occur in an area, like Blackpink in your area. Now, introduced species or non-native species is a species that has been introduced into a new area where it does not naturally occur. Introduced species. All right, so endemic species is the correct answer. Let's see who is on the top of our leaderboard. Let's see if there are changes. Tadan, 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 tadan. Grabe ang bilis po ng ating mga participants, no? Right here on screen. And definitely nagbago po ang ating ranking. We have a little bit of a mix-up. And leading the leaderboard with 1,923 points is Alpha Blanche Mojica. And just trailing close behind with 1,918 points is Dazzle Labapis. And of course, with 1,904 points, Dearly Ann Balayong still catching up. And for those of you who are at 4 to 10, you can definitely still catch up. We're still in question number 2. All right, let's go to question number 3, shall we? This is still easy. And our Category is, this is just a general question. What do you call the world's top richest biodiversity countries? Is it hotspot? Is it mega diverse? Is it biodiverse? Or is it ultra diverse? You have 3 seconds to answer. And time's up. Make sure you pressed in really fast. Oh, we have mixed answers as well. It's not the top answer, but the correct answer is mega diverse. Oh, madaming nag-answer ng biodiverse, but biodiversity refers to genetic diversity or species diversity and ecosystems diversity. Mega diverse is the answer that we are looking for, mga kapatid. Mega diverse countries are the countries with the highest concentrations of biodiversity in the world. These 70 megadiverse countries contain 70% of the world's plants and animal species. And guess what? And this might be new knowledge to you, the Philippines is actually one of the 17 megadiverse countries all over the world. And that's really a testament to why we should continue protecting and conserving our biodiversity. It's not hotspot. A biodiversity hotspot is a region where high levels of biodiversity are threatened with extinction caused by human activities. Hindi po yan Wi-Fi hotspot, okay? And of course, ultra diverse, there is no such thing as ultra diverse. Like there is no way we're getting back together ever. Joke lang naman. Okay, let's check out the leaderboard and see if we have changes in our leaderboard. My gosh, make sure you answer fast. Use your instincts to really pindutin mo talaga yan. Okay, let's see po kung may... All right, we have a change. Oh, consistent po natin. Going from number 3 or number 2, si Dazzle Labapis, now number 1 on our leaderboard with 2,870 points. Diyos ko, hindi po malayo si Dearly and Ramon. This is still question number 3. Many opportunities to catch up for those of you who don't see your names there. Make sure you do. Let's proceed to question number 4 of our quiz B. Category is plants. Para to sa mga plantito at plantita. Which Philippine native plant is depicted at the back of the new 5 peso coin? Is it katmon, tayabak, waling-waling, or kapa-kapa? Oh, Diyos ko, nakikita ko kayo, naghanap kayo dyan ng 5 peso, 1 peso coin para tingnan yung tamang sagot. Okay, let's see. Many of our participants got it wrong. It's not the waling-waling. It's actually the tayabak. Now, the waling-waling is actually found on our 1 peso coin, not our 5 peso coin. There you see, there you have it, the picture there. The katmon is on our 25 centavo coin. The waling-waling is in our 1 peso coin. Everybody thought it's our waling-waling, but no. It's actually our tayabak. The kapa-kapa is on our 10 peso coin. And on the 20 peso coin, by the way, the BSP just launched the 20 peso coin. Tell me if you have a copy of that or a version of the 20 peso coin. It's the nilad that is depicted at the back of the 20 peso coin. Now, tayabak or the jade vine featured in the 5 peso coin is found in Luzon, Catanduanes, and Mindoro Islands. Let's take a look at the leaderboard, shall we? And see if Daphne is still on the leaderboard. All right, wow, okay. We have... Oh, wow, we definitely have a new leaders atop our leaderboard with 3,677 points, Abby. 3,657 points, Raquel Bernal. And at third place with 3,624 points, we have Munyen Martinez. Grabe. I think some of those in the leaderboard, some of those at the top 3 got the wrong answer for our previous question. I don't blame you po. It was a very difficult question. Kahit ako, naghanap ako dito ng 5 peso coin para ma-check kung ano po yung tamang sagot. Ayun, again, this is anybody's ball game at this point in the quiz B, and make sure you make pindot as fast as you can, kasi this is not just whether who gets it right or wrong. This is also a game of speed. Let's proceed now to question number 5. A category is fish. Fish fillet. Gusto ko po ng fish fillet, hindi plastic fillet. In 2020, 15 species of freshwater fish from this lake in the Philippines were declared extinct by the International Union of Conservation of Nature. Is it Laguna de Bay, Lake Lanao, Taal Lake, or Lake Buhi? Time's up for everybody. And the correct answer, oops, majority answered Laguna de Bay, but it's actually Lake Lanao over here in Mindanao. As a proud Mindanaoan, I'm proud of Lake Lanao. It is the answer that received the least number of choices from our participants. Lake Lanao is actually the only known habitat of 18 species of freshwater fish of the genus Barbodes. In 2020, experts officially declared 15 of these species as extinct after years of extensive surveys. This is not good news, mga kapatid. Invasive alien species, water pollution, and over-harvesting are the reasons for the extinction of these fish. Sana naman po, this is the last time we talk about extinction of our fish species in Lake Lanao. So please, let's continue to promote its conservation and preservation. Let's take a look at the leaderboard after question number 5. Who is leading? Medyo madaming mali doon kasi only a few answered Lake Lanao. Let's see if our rankings have changed, and definitely nag-iba po ang ating second and third placer, pero still at the top. Fastest, ika nga ng Mentimeter, is Abby. May dalawang Abby tayo. Hopefully, ma-identify natin ang last name ni Abby. Sana po full name yung type natin. But we'll see later on. We have first place Abby with 4,636 points. Abby G is in second place with 4,446 points. And at the 4,000 ranks is Alon Velasquez with 4,231 points. Ayun, for those of you from rank 4 to 10, Diyos ko, madami pang opportunities na makabawi. Okay? So make sure if you know the answer, pindutin agad-agad, because this is not only a game of who gets it right or wrong, but of speed as well. Sino po yung pinaka-mabilis? We're halfway there, mga kapatid, kapuso, kapamilya, kaibigan. Let's proceed now to our question number 6. All right, our question number 6 category is mammals. The Philippine flying lemur, or the Cynocephalus volans, is locally known as what? Is it aswan, binturong, musang, or kagwang? 3, 2, 1. Time's up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Majority answered musang. Oh no! But the correct answer is kagwang. Musang is actually the local name of the common palm civet. The Philippine flying lemur is locally called kagwang. The kagwang does not fly. Pero madami po akong kakilalang kagwang dito sa amin. Instead, it glides from tree to tree using flaps of extra skin between its legs. So it does not have wings, but it has skin that it uses its skin to be able to glide from tree to tree. You know what? Gusto kong maging kagwang at least for 24 hours. I want to jump from one tree to another, no? Na aswang ex ko po yun. Joke lang po. Aswang is a creature in the Philippine folklore. Binturong can be found in Palawan. It's the Palawan bear cat. And of course, Again, musang is the local name of the common palm civet. Madaming na mali dun, but meron din tayong nakakuha sa tamang sagot, which is kagwang. In the Philippines, Bisaya, kagwang is also a Bisaya term, by the way. Let's see who answered it correctly. Wow, Alon Velasquez is the fastest, but Alon is in third place, still leading our leaderboard for the Quiz B with 5,452 points is Abby. 5,354 points is Abby G. Make sure to put in your full name, mga kabayan, so that we will be able to track your participation in this Quiz B properly. We're more than halfway there. We are now in question number 7. If you feel like it's the end of the world, no, it's not the end of the world. Meron po tayong 4 na tanong, starting with this question number 7. All right. Which of the following places in the Philippines is not named after a native plant? Is it Manila, Davao, Antipolo, or Kabangkalan? All right. You have 5 seconds to answer this question. Which of these cities is not named after a native plant? Let's see answers from everybody. Manila gets the most answers and the least from our correct answer, which is Davao. Manila actually came from nilad, right? Manila, may nilad. Nilad is a mangrove species that was once abundant in Manila Bay and Pasig River. So Manila came from a native plant. It's actually Davao that does not come from a native plant species. Davao came from the phonetic blending of the words used by Bagobo subgroups when referring to the Davao River. Antipolo, meanwhile, is named after the Antipolo tree or Artocarpus blancoi, which is endemic to the Philippines and is known for its wood and fiber. And of course, Kabangkalan, like Kabangkalan City in Negros Occidental, is from Bangkal, or scientific name Nuclea orientalis, a tree species which is native to the Philippines. Now, the wood of the bangkal is used to make paper, furniture, and musical instruments. I'm sure at least once in your life, nahawakan nyo na po ang bangkal. Bangkal was probably abundant in the city years back. Many of you got it wrong. Let's see if it changes the leaderboard, but we have also those who answered Davao. Let's see if our participants got it right or wrong, and if the leaderboard has changed. Oops, definitely not. Abby G. Oh, sorry, there's a swap there. Abby G is on the lead with 6,248 points. Trailing behind is Abby with 6,137 points. Di ako sure if they're one person. I'm not sure kasi same sila ng name. Third place is Alon Velasquez. Wow, Alon is back in the game. We lost Alon for a little while there, but Alon is back on top with 5,808 points. I see there Raquel Bernal. You were at the top 3 kanina and you're making your way up. Definitely you have a chance at this. Congratulations to our leaders, but don't rest on your laurels because we still have 3 questions to go. All right, let's go to question number 8. Category is reptiles. Sa mga kaibigan nyo dyang reptiles. Joke lang po. How many species of marine turtles can be found in the Philippines? Is it 7, 6, 4, or 5? Grabe, you know, I love marine turtles. Actually, saan yung stuffed toy ko on marine turtles? You have 3 seconds to answer this. How many of them are found in the Philippines? The correct answer is, lots of you answered 6 and 7. Unfortunately, for everybody, the correct answer is 5. We only have 62 participants in our Quiz B who got it right. It's not 7, 6, or 4. 5 of the 7 species of marine turtles are actually found in the Philippines. Marine turtles are migratory, but the females return to the beach where they are born to lay their eggs. Now, marine turtles are threatened by poaching of their meat, shells, and eggs, conversion of their habitat, climate change, and marine pollution. So, while we have 5 of the 7 species of marine turtles here in the Philippines, they are in danger and threatened by these man made activities. We have here photos of the marine turtles found here in the Philippines. We have the green turtle, the hawksbill turtle, the olive ridley turtle, the leatherback turtle, and the loggerhead turtle. All right, let's see the leaderboard. We're now down to our last 2 questions, but let's see the leaderboard kung may nag-iba ba sa ating rankings. Looks like Abby did not get it right this time, but Alon, Priscilla, and the rest got it right. And we have a change up and swap in our leaderboard because Abby did not get it right, but Alon got it right. Our fastest answer is Jerly Gedoria, and that's why because she's very fast, she made it to the top 10 with 4,661 points. But still to beat are Alon Velasquez, Abby G, and Abby. Priscilla Andre, Tito Boy, ikaw ba yan? Thank you po sa pagsali sa ating game, no? You can still catch up, definitely. We are now down to our last 2 questions. So let's focus, put our attention to this game, and make sure we click as fast as possible. This category is for birds. Now, which of the following Philippine birds is not classified as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List? Is it the Philippine cockatoo, the Cebu flower pecker, the Isabel oriole, or the Visayan hornbill? Let's see which of them are not classified as critically endangered. The correct answer, ayun, it's the least correct. It's the least voted correct answer. It's actually the Visayan hornbill. 103 of our participants got it right. Now, the Visayan hornbill is locally called tariktik because of its vocalization. I have seen the Visayan hornbill because one of them is found in our Silliman Zoo back in Dumaguete, being conserved and protected. Now, the Visayan hornbill is actually endemic to the Negros Panay biogeographic region. Unfortunately, ito na naman, I don't like saying this part, but you need to know about this. The Visayan hornbill is threatened by hunting and deforestation, and it is presumed locally extinct in Masbate Island. Now, the Philippine cockatoo, Cebu flower pecker, and the Isabella oriole are all critically endangered. This, on your screen here, you can see the IUCN Red List of threatened species in the Philippines. These are the 5 categories through which our biodiversity are compartmentalized into: extinct, critically endangered species, then we have endangered species, vulnerable species, and near threatened species. That's a lot of numbers right there. Most of our biodiversity, some of our animals are in danger. Some of our species are being threatened. So please, let's work together to make sure those numbers get lower and lower. All right, let's see the leaderboard. Ito na po yung second to the last question. Let's see if may nag-iba ba sa ating leaderboard. Ayun, sobrang exciting. Only Abby and Faye Valencia got this right on the top 10 of our leaderboard, which puts Abby at the topmost, beating Alon Velasquez. But don't worry, Alon, kasi we have 6,744 points for Abby, and you need around less than 20 more points. Mascom, hindi po ako marunong sa math. Kayo na po mag-math. Pero less than 20 points na lang po, and you can take over Abby at the top spot. We have Abby, Priscilla, Faye, Andre, Tito, Bobet, Rizel, and Girly, who are in the top 10. Let's see with this last question if our leaderboard changes up. This last question is a hard question, and the category is invertebrates. Of what genus does the Philippine endemic stingless bee, known as kiwot or lukot, belong to? Is it the Cyclopa species, the Apis species, the Tetragonula species, or the Megachile species? Time's up. Let's see who got it right. Wow, majority of you, not hard at all, majority of you got it right. It's right. That's called the Tetragonula species. The genus Cyclopa are the group of the carpenter bees. Apis are better known as honeybees. Megachile are the group of leaf cutters known for being solitary. And the Tetragonula or the kiwot are stingless bees. Kiwot bees are important pollinators of coconut, mango, guava, tamarind, calamansi, duhat, and strawberry plants. Ayun, napaka-useful naman pala ng ating stingless bees. And I'm sure madaming pang bees dyan and madami pang species of bees dyan ang nakakatulong sa ating pang-araw-araw na mga pangangailangan. Okay, so that ends. Let's see the leaderboard one final time if anyone overtook anybody. Diyos ko, let's see it. Okay, we have many of those in the leaderboard who got it right. And we have Abby, who is our grand winner, who is our first place winner with 7,275 points. Let's give a digital round of applause to Abby. Sana po no maitrace natin sinong Abby to. Baka Abby to yung friend ko sa grade 6 na nawalan ko ng connection, no? Hindi ko lang alam. So congratulations, Abby. We also have in second place with 6,953 points, Priscilla Domino, and finishing off at third place with 6,727 points is Alon Velasquez. Ayun po, sobrang na-appreciate po namin yung participation ng 500 learners and teachers from all over the Philippines for joining our Biodiversity Quiz B. There's over 400 of you, but there can only be one winner, and the winner for this morning winning 300 pesos load allowance is Abby. Of course, Priscilla and Alon, you also get 100 pesos each. To the top 3 participants, please make sure to take a screenshot of your screen and send an email to drrmo+ccam@deped.gov.ph to claim your prize. Okay? All right. If in any case we will not be able to verify Abby because it's not the full name, we will also be asking our top 4 and our top 5 participants to please send in your screenshot as well if in any case we cannot verify who Abby is. So yung nasa 4th place si Abby G at yung nasa 5th place hindi ko pa makita sa screen, but if that's you, I think that's a Valencia if I'm not mistaken. But for our top 5 participants, please take a screenshot of your screen. Okay? Thank you so much and congratulations to all our participants. For those of you who were amazed by the additional biodiversity knowledge that you learned, I also learned so much. You'll be more excited to know more about the Biodiversity Toolkit. Let's take a look at how teachers, parents, and educators can use the Biodiversity Toolkit through this video. Please watch this.
Tutuklasan. Halos kalahati ng mga species na to ay sa Pilipinas lang matatagpuan at wala na sa ibang bahagi ng mundo. Talagang amazing ang biodiversity ng Pilipinas. Ang Pilipinas ay tahanan ng samot-saring hayop, halaman at iba pang wildlife. Humigit 60,000 species na ang natukoy ng agham at tinatayang libo-libo pa ang hindi natin natutuklasan. Halos kalahati ng mga species na to ay sa Pilipinas lang matatagpuan at wala na sa ibang bahagi ng mundo. Talagang amazing ang biodiversity ng Pilipinas at dapat itong ipagmalaki ng bawat Pilipino. Galing, di ba? Malaki ang ambag ng biodiversity sa buhay ng tao, mula sa pagkain kinakain natin hanggang sa proteksyon laban sa matitinding pagsubok ng panahon. Ngunit nanganganib ding mawala ang ating mga species dahil sa overexploitation ng mga likas na yaman, labis na paggamit ng dagat at lupain, mga species na invasive sa ating bansa, polusyon at climate change. Higit 1,800 na ang nanganganib o threatened, habang 15 naman sa species ng mga endemic na isda natin ang nadeklara ng extinct. Ang pangangalaga ng ecosystem ay nagsisilbing adaptation at mitigation strategy sa nagbabadyang pagsubok ng climate change. Sa kabila ng lahat ng ito, nananatiling mababa ang kaalaman at pagpapahalaga ng mga Pilipino sa ating lokal na biodiversity. At kahit na napakarami nating kamanghamanghang hayop at halaman kagaya ng Philippine eagle, tamaraw at nara, mas pamilyar pa rin ang mga Pilipino sa lion, elephants at tigers na hindi naman matatagpuan sa Pilipinas. Dagdag pa rito ang mas hindi kilalang species na hindi naman magpapatalo kagaya ng 7 species ng giant clams kabilang ang pinakamalaki sa buong mundo, ang makulay na Philippine trogon, ang Palawan bearcat o binturong na amoy popcorn daw at marami pang iba. Dahil dito at alinsunod sa UN Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, ang Department of Education Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service at Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines ay bumuo ng bagong resource upang tulungan ang mga guro at educator sa lahat ng antas na iangat ang pagpapahalaga at kaalaman ng mga mag-aaral natin sa biodiversity ng Pilipinas. Samot-saring buhay, the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit. Layunin nitong i-equip ang ating mga guro hindi lang ng impormasyon kundi ng iba pang materyales upang mabisang maituro ang biodiversity sa ating mga paaralan. Anong meron? Una, tampok sa toolkit ang iba't ibang Philippine species, mga kaakibat na threat sa kanilang diversity at mga organisasyon at proyektong nangangalaga sa kanila sa bansa. Pangalawa, tinatalakay ng toolkit kung bakit mahalaga ang mga likas na yaman sa konteksto ng ating sariling kasaysayan, kultura at kasalukuyang pamumuhay. Pinapakita nito kung paanong integrated ang Philippine biodiversity sa ating pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay at kung bakit ang pagkasira ng kalikasan ay bad news sa ating kalusugan, ekonomiya at katatagan laban sa mga sakuna. Panghuli, libre at madali itong gamitin. Madaling i-adjust at isama ang nilalaman ng toolkit sa iba't ibang grade levels at subjects at nagbibigay rin ito ng mga pampasigla at interactive na activities, tips at resources para gawing interesting ang pag-aaral natin ng biodiversity. Nahahati ito sa 4 na paksa: An Introduction to Biodiversity, Philippine Biodiversity, Threats to Philippine Biodiversity, and Conserving Philippine Biodiversity. Ang bawat section ay nagtatapos sa mga activities na maaaring gamitin sa classroom. Narito rin ang isang directory ng mga organisasyong nangangalaga ng biodiversity sa Pilipinas at listahan ng mga protected areas sa bansa. Naglalaman din ito ng mga fact sheet ng ilang species na makikita sa Pilipinas at kung saang rehiyon sila matatagpuan. Ang biodiversity ay integral na pamana natin sa mga susunod na henerasyon at responsibilidad nating pangalagaan ito. Panahon na para makibahagi tayo sa pangangalaga ng kalikasan simula sa pag-alam at pakikialam. Para sa karagdagang impormasyon, pumunta lamang sa website ng DepEd www.deped.gov.ph/climate-change-education at sa BCSP www.biodiversity.ph.
Ayan! Grabe, napaka-exciting ng ating biodiversity toolkit. Right now, I want a copy of that. Baka magamit ko yan sa aking daily living, no? And I'm sure for those of you who are watching us, who are learners or even teachers, especially our teachers, you will get access to the biodiversity toolkit. If you have questions regarding the Samot Saring Buhay toolkit, please type it in the comment section now. Please put your first name, your school, your division and region, and we will answer that later. Again, we will be having a panel discussion later if you have any questions on the biodiversity toolkit. So please comment them on our comment section. Make sure to put your first name, school, division, and region. But for now, let's listen to the messages from 2 of the Department of Education's Honorable Undersecretaries, Yusek Diosdado San Antonio of the Curriculum and Instruction Strand and USEC Elaine Del Pasqua of the administration strand. Please watch these videos.
Today, I am very much honored to join all of you in celebrating the 2021 International Day for Biological Diversity in connection with the declaration of the United Nations Decade for Ecosystems Restoration from 2021 to 2030. In the same vein, we are launching the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers in order to promote the rich biodiversity of the Philippines, educate our people on the importance of preserving and conserving our ecosystems, and appreciate it for greater protection of life. Biological diversity um, takes on the reality of life interacting with the environment. This interaction paves for interdependence among all of the living things, including human beings with the immediate or remote environment. This interdependence comes in the forms of needs and support for survival, just like the animals that graze the grasslands for nourishment, the fishes that teem the oceans for habitation, and the human beings who raise farms for food and existence. In the events confronting us that include facing weather disturbances such as typhoons, we need to educate ourselves on the signals and the levels of engagement we need to do so that we can prevent further destruction of life and properties and be able to build back even more strongly and productively. We need to develop resilience, confidence, and competence in the midst of destructive weather. As we battle with a pandemic, everyone is encouraged to observe health protocols to ensure that infection will be prevented. There are many ways we can do in order to prevent COVID-19 from spreading, to minimize death toll due to it and to perpetuate life with other health challenges. We are educated to be more conscious of our surroundings, careful in our acts, and compassionate with fellow human beings. Our acts of kindness are truly significant in promoting life and health in the midst of pandemic. We have diverse needs as we interact with a diverse environment that offers us diverse responses. Life is simple and life is simply complicated. However, and whatever complications beset us, all of us are called to respond with much responsibility and accountability. As what the Bible tells us, we are our brother's keepers and we have to heed that divine call. As we launch the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers, we show bigger acts of kindness to ourselves in the Department of Education, particularly to the learning leaders, the teachers, the learners, and even the community where the parents and families of our learners congregate. Interdependence and interconnectedness are necessary values in ensuring that education continues, that healthy practices perpetuate our lives, and that life is cared for all at all times. All our effort in the Department of Education do not only promote our mandate of educating our countrymen, but also of making everyone accountable for his life and living. We are thankful that we have this toolkit so that our schools and teachers can help heighten our advocacy for quality education, for quality health, and for quality life. Take care, everyone. Let us educate ourselves, continue learning, for we are all alive and we care for life. Mabuhay po kayo and God bless.
Today, we're launching an important learning resource in raising awareness and educating our youth about Philippine biodiversity. The Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers is being launched today as we celebrate the International Day for Biological Diversity. In line with the Department of Education's core value, makakalikasan, this toolkit, which has been put together by advocates for the Philippine environment from different agencies and organizations, is a way of ensuring the continued protection and conservation of our natural resources. We do this by empowering our Filipino youth through education and appreciation of our country's biodiversity. Renowned naturalist Sir David Attenborough has said, "No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they have never experienced." This is very true about our natural world. How will our Filipino youth, our future leaders, protect our biodiversity if they do not know or have little understanding of our rich ecosystem? With this biodiversity toolkit, it is our hope that it will facilitate the development of biodiversity consciousness among our learners as we continue to provide them with opportunities and platforms where they can learn and participate actively in advocating for the welfare of the environment. I have developed a passion for photography, and my favorite subjects are the beautiful wild birds that can be found in our country, endemic, resident, and migratory species. I have even contributed some of the photos in this toolkit. It is always a priceless experience to witness and capture the marvelous beauty of our winged creatures in every click of my camera. I believe such beauty deserves to be alive and nurtured in their natural habitat. At the end of the day, to see these birds flying free over our lands is an incomparable view to the images I have captured. I have been blessed to witness such beauty, and it is my hope that the youth, the generations who are yet to come, deserve to witness it too. Someday, I hope the younger generations will be able to snap their own pictures of the many birds and other wildlife in the Philippines and share them with me, with us, and with the entire world. Today, as we launch this resource, it is with great hope, high hope, that we pass on the tools, knowledge, and appreciation to our learners and motivate them to join the fight for biodiversity conservation. Learning is the first step towards developing the skills needed to succeed in our fight against environmental degradation. As we arm ourselves and our youth with the knowledge, understanding, and appreciation for the mega biodiversity of our country, then we can all be confident that the future of the Philippine ecosystems are in good hands. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio and Undersecretary Elaine B. Pascua. Grabe, all our undersecretaries are on board talaga. And I think the bottom line also of what they were trying to say is that really, to repeat USEC, learning is the first step to succeeding in our fight for climate action and biodiversity conservation. And this toolkit is definitely one of the instruments wherein we can learn more about the biodiversity that really emanates from the Philippines. So if you have any questions for our biodiversity toolkit, you may comment on the comment section of Facebook Live, and we will try our best to answer all the questions. But if we can't answer it now, we will just take note of it and send the answers through email. Again, if you have a question, please put your first name, school, division, and region. For the questions and answers about the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit, let us welcome Ms. Cynthia Layusa of Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines and Ms. Lara Jean Salaysay of DepEd Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, or DRRMS. They will be answering your queries about the toolkit. Make sure to comment your questions in the comment section of the FB Live. Grabe, I am the only thorn among the roses. Good morning, Miss Cynthia and Lara. How are you?
Good morning, Val. Saya ng quiz, no?
Oo, madami akong na-learn. Lara, how are you over there?
Magandang umaga sa lahat. Mabuhay sa ating biodiversity.
Mabuhay, mabuhay, and advanced happy International Biodiversity Day to you. Miss Cynthia, there's a cute cockatoo peeping there. May pangalan ba yan si kuya or si ate?
Shout out ko lang ang Katala Foundation. Ito ang Philippine Kakatu, isa sa mga endemic species ng Pilipinas at critically endangered ngayon. Hindi kita sa maliit siya. Ito ang Calayan Rail na endemic sa isla ng Calayan sa Babuyan Group of Islands.
Oh,
Yan,
those
at
are so cute. Maraming salamat, Miss Cynthia. I need to get myself one. Let's start with our Q&A kasi madami po tayong questions from our participants, no? We have here a question from Angela Cruz of the Division of Samar. She asks, mayroon po bang specific grade level ang pwedeng gumamit ng Biodiversity Toolkit?
Sino sa atin, Lara, sasagot?
Okay. Lara,
Okay.
would you want to
Yes.
answer that?
Okay. So, wala po tayong specific grade level na maaaring gumamit ng Biodiversity Toolkit. Ang Biodiversity Toolkit po ay para sa ating mga guro. So, ito po ay para mas maintindihan pa ninyo kung ano nga ba yung biodiversity, Philippine biodiversity, threats sa biodiversity, at yung mga conservation efforts. So, ang titignan po namin ay teachers po of any grade level ang pwedeng gumamit ng ating toolkit. Although, ang suggestion din po, if ever, ay yung toolkit po maaari na po itong maintindihan siguro ng mga grade 9 to grade 12. So yun po, kumbaga yung toolkit hindi po pang elementary na ipapabasa natin sa mga bata, pero pang teacher po ito. So ayan ang sagot, Val.
Pero sa mga age group naman ng mas bata, yung mga grades 1 to 3, meron naman kasi din kami mai-recommend na mga activities na pwedeng gamitin para sa mga ganun kabata. Para bata pa lang nasisimulan na natin yung pag-educate tungkol sa Philippine biodiversity.
Right. Maraming salamat, Lara and Cynthia, for that clarification. Now, ano po yung mga sample activities that teachers can ask students to do which are in the Biodiversity Toolkit? This question is from Brenda Basco of the Division of Bataan. May mga sample activities ba tayo sa Biodiversity Toolkit na pwedeng ang ating mga guro ay pwedeng ituro or i-ask for their students to do?
Okay, so na-mention nga kanina doon sa video na at the end of each chapters, meron siya ang mga tips and also sample activities na pwedeng gawin. So we also made sure na hindi siya, kasi pag sinabi natin biodiversity, parang inisip natin science siya agad. So we made sure na may mga activities para sa mga ibang subjects, araling panlipunan, values education, math. So meron siya mga sample activities, pwede sila mag-graph for math, na pwedeng mga sample questions na pwede gamitin. For example, essay or paggawa ng press release for mga English and Filipino subjects. Marami for values education, obviously, kasi ito ay tungkol sa pagiging nationalistic natin. And also, araling panlipunan, may mga examples ng mga history. O yung question kanina about alin lugar sa Pilipinas ang nagmula sa mga native species, sa mga native plants. So ito yung mga examples ng mga questions na pwede nyo mahugot sa toolkit na pwede ninyong ipasok sa inyong lessons kahit anong subject pa kayo.
Grabe, and that really assists the teacher in trying to find responsive and very well thought out questions about biodiversity para sa kanilang mga quizzes, exams, or essays. That's really interesting. Now, I think the biggest question this morning, and it's asked by Ephraim Tahada, Jr. of the Division of Occidental Mindoro. Where can we access this amazing toolkit? Lara, Cynthia, where can we get this toolkit?
Si Lara siguro.
Yeah. Currently po, ang ating toolkit ay under review. So malapit na po itong matapos kasi gusto po natin i-ensure na syempre ang makababasa nyo lang po ay ang highest quality ng ating toolkit. Pero kapag tapos na po ito, madadownload po ito sa ating mga DepEd platforms kagaya ng DepEd Commons at DepEd LRMTS. Katulad din po ng ating microsite for climate change, madadownload din po ito doon. At syempre, mamaya po, ipapakita po namin sa inyo yung evaluation form. Kapag nagsagot po kayo sa evaluation form, hindi lang po certificate yung matatanggap nyo, kundi pati po yung updates tungkol sa toolkit. So isa po kayo sa makakuha ng kumbaga first glimpse ng ating toolkit kapag natapos na po ito. So muli, madadownload po ito sa DepEd Commons, LRMDS portal, microsite on created resources for teaching climate change, at syempre, pag sinagutan nyo po yung evaluation form, diretso po sa email ninyong matatanggap ang update ng ating Biodiversity Toolkit.
Thank you for that, Lara. Ayun, napaka-accessible naman pala ng toolkit natin. Now, Havines Edna of the Division of Caloocan City asks, may hard copy po ba tayo ng toolkit? Becky naman, may hard copy. Yes.
Sa ngayon, soft copy muna ang meron. So I think dahil sa pandemic din tayo, so para rin mas maging accessible sa lahat kahit sa malayong lugar, magkaroon ng access nito. Kaya inop muna natin sa ngayon, naggawin muna siyang soft copy para madali rin natin ma-share. Soft copy po ito, accessible sa websites na na-mention ni Lara kanina at accessible din ito sa website ng BCSP at ito po ay libre. So, bukod po doon ay magkakaroon kayo ng access sa mga fact sheets din, yung mga ibang species na na-mention kanina, so ma-include din po ito.
Speaking of species fact sheet, Cynthia, Mark asks, per division po ba yung category ng species fact sheet?
Okay. Interesting question yan. Maraming salamat sa nagtanong. So, ang species fact sheets actually dinivide namin ito per biogeographic region. Ngayon, kung ano ang biogeographic region, lalabas din yan sa toolkit. So, basically, ito yung regions, iba't ibang regions sa Pilipinas, not necessarily corresponding sa administrative regions. So, yung toolkit naka-divide dito, meron tayong national list. Ito yung mga makikita natin all over the Philippines or iconic or mga national symbols like Philippine Eagle, tama raw, so lalabas doon. And per region, per biogeographic region, kunyari yung mga makikita lamang sa Palawan, merong separate section ng toolkit for Palawan, for Mindoro, for Mindanao, and for the Luzon and Negros and Panay regions. Pati Sulu meron din kasi ito yung mga special biogeographic regions natin. So, pwede nila i-download sa region of interest na nila. Or kung gusto nila malaman yung anong meron na po ang Pilipinas, meron tayong mahigit 100 species na na-compile, species fact sheets na na-compile.
Grabe, hearing you, Cynthia, no, sounds like it's a lot of hard work. And JD of the Holy Spirit National High School asks, can you tell us a little bit on the process of coming up with this toolkit? Lara, Cynthia, can you walk us through what it's like developing this biodiversity toolkit? Ayun, tawang-tawa na muna tayo kasi parang ang extensive ng ng title.
Okay. Ito, isang major shout out sa isang graduate student na nag-present sa symposium ng BCSP last year, si Serena Constantino Panopio, nanonood sila. Hello, shout out sa kanya kasi itong study niya to, meron siyang study na present sa symposium namin last year na sinasabi niya na ang Philippine biodiversity underrepresented sa mga science textbooks dito sa Pilipinas. So kung dahil nga hindi natin pinapag-aralan, hindi exposed yung mga bata sa mga Philippine biodiversity, so paano natin ito matututunan? Mas lumalabas yung mga lion, giraffe, tiger na wala naman dito sa Pilipinas. So pagkatapos nun, nag-reach out, pinakilala kami kay DepEd. At doon na nagsimula ito lahat. Akala namin matatapos ng 3 buwan. Medyo lumaki rin, medyo naging ambitious din from the original concept. Naging mas ambitious kasi gusto natin na sayang yung opportunity na ito na, kausap na natin DepEd. So, at napakalaking opportunity nito para ma-introduce ito sa mga teachers at sa mga students. So, months of reviews. So, merong 14 na nagsulat nito at maraming reviewers ang tumingin at hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin tapos sa pagre-review kasi we really wanted to vet yung accuracy ng information. Hindi lang yung accuracy, pero pati yung pagiging updated ng information sa toolkit. Kaya ito, several chapters later and hundreds of fact sheets later, makapal na yung Philippine biodiversity.
That's really good to know. Lara, what made DepEd DRMS really focus and work on the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit with them at BCSP?
Yes, so definitely biodiversity is a special interest for DepEd DRMS kasi dahil sa role nito sa climate change. So alam natin na kumbaga naapektuhan yung biodiversity natin because of the impacts of climate change. But when we look at it in another way, yung biodiversity, it's a solution as well to curbing the impact of climate change. Kaya for us, very important really to understand and appreciate our Philippine biodiversity. Diba kanina sa quiz B, we are one of the 17 of the 200 countries, diba? One of the 17 mega diverse countries in the world. So just imagine na sa Pilipinas pa lang, tayo yung sinasabi din nila na center of the center of marine biodiversity. So tayo talaga yung pinakagitna, di ba? Kaya for us, it's really important to instill the appreciation for Philippine biodiversity. And we cannot do that if we don't have the knowledge. That's why it was important for us to partner with BCSP, and it was really a splendid partnership with BCSP since last year pa namin to tinatrabaho. And I would like to take this opportunity then to thank especially our reviewers from DepEd. We have the Bureau of Curriculum Development, the Bureau of Learning Delivery, and the Bureau of Learning Resources. So sila yung internal reviewers natin. And likewise, aside from the specialist ng BCSP, kasi BCSP, ang mga members niyan ay mga biodiversity experts na we also have the additional support for review ng Climate Change Commission and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Office of Deputy Speaker Ligarda. So teamwork talaga itong toolkit na ito dahil napaka-extensive ng content. So madami talagang nagtulungan para magawa itong toolkit na ito.
I mean, siguro personally, no, magpapasalamat ako at tayo sa DepEd DRMS for really enabling this environment of trying to activate our desire for biodiversity conservation. And in fact, environmental journalism, also IEJ is a partner of DepEd DRMS to roll out the Green Beat initiative. Kaya, grabe, very huge props to DepEd DRMS for leading all these projects. So, Larry, you might not hear it every day, but good job also to you for being part of leading this. I think you hear it every day. Pero gusto ko lang
Of course, thank you din kay Director Ronnie ko. Wala siya ngayon kasi we have another event. But of course, thanks to her na ganito yung ating vision and mga projects and activities ng DepEd DRRMS.
I love dear Ronnie. Thank you, dear Ronnie, if you're listening right now. We have a Christine C. from the Division of Dipolog City who asks, how can we get updates about the toolkit?
So again po, later, once we show you the link to the evaluation form, please answer the evaluation form and then you'll get updates po straight from your email aside from your certificate. And of course, you can always follow the Facebook page, social media pages of DepEd Philippines and BCSP. So kung saan po kayo nanonood ngayon ng inyong Facebook Live or kung sa YouTube man, please make sure to follow and subscribe para maging updated po kayo kung kailan ito ma-release.
This was answered before, no? But nag-ask si Jumar Plaza from Buena Vista, pwede po bang humingi ng soft copy ng toolkit?
Yes, pwede po. Pero kapag available na po, again, please answer the evaluation form and make sure to follow DepEd Philippines, DepEd DRRMS, and BCSP in all our social media pages para updated po tayo kung kailan po ma-release ang ating toolkit.
Thank you so much. To wrap up our discussion, Cynthia, Lara, can I get final words from you? What is your hope for this Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit? Cynthia?
Sana talaga magamit siya. Hindi lang dahil sa pinagpagura namin ito at hindi lang dahil sa ito yung vision talaga ng BCSP, pero dahil ito yung kailangan natin. Isipin natin na ito mga species na ito, nakatira sila sa Pilipinas. So that also makes them Filipinos na parang tayo. They also have rights na parang tayo. So sana tayo mismo ang mga alaga nito. At magsisimula ito sa mga bata kung tuturuan natin sila kung paano alagaan ang ating biodiversity, ang ating kalikasan. So sana talaga magamit siya at gamitin siya ng mga teachers. At sana mag-continue pa yung partnership ng BCSP with DepEd para mas lalo pa itong lumago itong ganitong trabaho.
Thank you. Cynthia, Lara?
Yes, we definitely see the Biodiversity Toolkit as an important tool for our teachers to instill appreciation for Philippine biodiversity and to empower our learners to participate and lead conservation efforts, maybe national man yan, international, or especially at the local level. And rest assured po na continuous ang partnership natin with BCSP. So maybe we can see the second version ng toolkit 2 years from now pas maraming changes. So hopefully, ang change na ilalagay natin ay yung pagbawas ng mga threatened species at pagdami ng mga na-discover na species. So sana yun ang mga updates na ilagay natin sa next na mga version.
I got goosebumps. Looking forward to that second and better version, not in terms of content, but in terms of having less, endangered and extinct species. Ay, maraming salamat, Lara and Cynthia. This was a very, very fruitful discussion. I hope you learned a lot, as I have, from the Quiz Bee and our Q&A portion with Cynthia and Lara. Maraming salamat and have a great day to both of you. Now, the development of the toolkit was made possible by the support and assistance of different individuals and organizations. Let's welcome once again Miss Cynthia to thank those who were involved in the project.
Ayan, sorry, hindi pala ako dapat umalis. So na-mention kanina ni Lara na partnership ito at ang pagtutulungan talaga ang lumabas, which is yun yung nakakatuwa kasi gusto natin maging inclusive sa maraming tao at lalo na kami na malaking tulong sa amin na sa BCSP na nakalabas kami ng comfort zone namin within our own biodiversity circles at to get in touch with teachers and with other organizations as well. So at this point, so since na-launch natin yung toolkit, I think we're now in the second most important part of the program para sa akin, which is to thank the people and the organizations who made this toolkit possible. So next slide, please. So on behalf of the Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines, I wish to thank the Department of Education, particularly in Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, so to Director Ronil Daco, Lara, Zerlak, Justine, and Almalin for partnering with BCSP and for trusting us with this activity. Dahil sa partnership na ito, nabigyan nyo ng napakalaking platform ang BCSP para mas lalo naming ma-achieve isa sa mga objectives ng society, which is to raise the awareness of Filipinos on Philippine biodiversity. And I'd also like to thank the people who developed and wrote the contents of the toolkit. Si Jay Fidelino, Francis May Tenorio, si Giselle Belardo, siya yung nag-compile kung marami sa mga activities na makikita niyo dito. Yung layout is by Michelle Encomienda. Zarina Constantino Panopia, I've mentioned kanina na siya yung nag-introduce sa amin sa BCS sa DepEd. And also siya yung nag-lead ng FGD with teachers. The illustrations that you will see sa toolkit nito are illustrated by Prime Preming, and this version of the toolkit is being edited by Rina De Alban. Next slide, please. So we've also mentioned before that the toolkit was reviewed by a lot of experts. And even within BCSP, maraming experts ang tumulong para i-fact check at i-validate yung contents nito. Marami sa kanila mga educators din at mga teachers from different grade levels and hanggang college. So these experts made sure that the contents of the toolkits are factual and also updated. So thank you very much to our members and their respective organizations for your time. Next slide, please. So the toolkit was also internally reviewed by the DepEd para ma-ensure natin na nagsasubscribe tayo sa guidelines ng DepEd at yung toolkit ay nagko-comply sa mga curriculum requirements ng ating mga paaralan. I'd also like to thank specifically yung Bureau of Curriculum Development, Bureau of Learning Delivery, Bureau of Learning Resources, and the Information and Communications Technology Service. Pati rin yung mga DepEd teachers, si Sir Jefferson Magbanwa, Ms. Evangeline Omoy, na tumulong mag-review din ito. At bukod sa kanila, maraming teachers from all over the Philippines ang nag-participate sa FGD at the start of the project. So maraming salamat sa mga inputs ninyo. At hopefully, pag nakita niyo yung toolkit, marami sa mga comments at yung mga concerns ninyo ay na-address namin dito sa version natin ng toolkit. Next slide, please. And also, apart from BCSP and DepEd, we're also grateful to our partner national agencies na nag-provide mga valuable comments to the toolkit. Andiyan ang Office of the Deputy Speaker, Lauren Legarda, and also the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, especially the Climate Change Service, and the Biodiversity Management Bureau divisions, and Caves and Wetlands and Other Ecosystems Division, National Parks Division, Wildlife Resources Division, and Coastal and Marine Division. Hindi lamang sila nag-review, pero nagbigay rin sila ng mga pictures at ng mga ibang information at data na maaaring ipasok doon sa toolkit. So maraming salamat po. Gusto rin namin pasalamatan ang Climate Change Commission through the Office of Secretary Emmanuel de Guzman, ang Office of Commissioner Rachel, at yung mga divisions na nag-review nito yung Policy, Research and Development Division and the National Panel of Technical Experts. Thank you very much po. Marami ring mga individuals at organizations ang nag-contribute ng mga photos nila na nakapasok at doon sa ating toolkit. Kaya mas maganda yung toolkit kasi mas ma-visualize natin kung ano yung mga species o yung mga habitat na tinutukoy natin dito. So maraming salamat sa inyo sa pag-share ng inyong mga sariling pictures mula sa inyong database. And itong launching, so marami rin tayong gustong pasalamatan dito sa launch. For the Toolkit Explainer video, yung script ay tinranslate sa Tagalog at ninarrate ni, sa Filipino, I'm sorry, at ninarrate ni E.B. Perez Belen. Si Vincent Chu ang gumawa ng video. And also shout out to Lara and Almalin for the program. Jay for the quiz questions. So kung nahirapan kayo, si Jay Fidelino ang gumawa ng questions. Our live streaming technical director, Ari Digitizer, and Michelle Comenda. And thank you to our FSL interpreters, KZ and Amy, na hanggang ngayon nagbibigay pa rin sa atin ng support. Maraming salamat sa inyo. And also, Val, thank you very much for hosting this event. And lastly, since marami rin nagtatanong, if you have questions about the toolkit, please get in touch with BRRMS or BCSP. If you have specific questions about biodiversity, please feel free to reach out to us at BCSP. Isa kaming membership organization ng mga wildlife biologists and conservationists from all over the Philippines and also have members abroad. So kailangan nyo ng tulong sa inyong mga research or kung interested kayo about biodiversity, please get in touch with us. I would also like to promote our social media pages. Please give us a like para makakuha rin kayo ng regular updates about BCSP, the Toolkit, and some of our other events. So thank you very much and happy International Biodiversity Day to all.
Maraming salamat po, Miss Cynthia, for your hard work. If it takes a village to raise a child, it definitely takes numerous writers, researchers, reviewers, experts, and supporters to produce something as important as this Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit. Now, one of the partners mentioned was the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Let's hear from the inspiring messages, the proactive leaders of DENR, the Undersecretary for Climate Change and Mining Concerns, Attorney Analiza Rebueltate, and the officer in charge for the Biodiversity Management Bureau, Assistant Director Amelita DJ Ortiz.
Po sa inyong lahat, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga guro na narito ngayon. Our warmest congratulations to the Department of Education for the launching of the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers. Healthy ecosystems and rich biodiversity are fundamental in sustaining life in our planet. They provide various ecosystem services such as food, water, energy sources, pharmaceuticals, biomass fuels, carbon sequestration, climate regulation, among others. However, as climate change continues to alter the temperature and weather pattern all over the world, 1/4 of all species on land are threatened with extinction by the year 2050. Human impingement on natural habitats, biodiversity loss, and ecosystem degradation are also increasing the risk of disease pandemics such as COVID-19. It is therefore vital to protect our biodiversity in avoiding the next pandemic and addressing the global challenge of climate change. The United Nations highlighted the critical role of education in promoting sustainable development and improving the capacity of people to address environmental and development issues. Education can positively influence the management of the world's increasingly stressed natural resources by incorporating successful environmental education techniques. The massive promotion of behavioral and cultural changes inside our classrooms is also needed to help us sustain our efforts in the protection and conservation of our environment and natural resources. Our teachers' role is very important, not only in increasing the climate and environmental literacy among young people, but also in changing how they think and coexist our environment in a more sustainable and transformative way. Maraming salamat po sa Department of Education at ang DNR ay naging bahagi ng okasyon na ito at ng inisyatibang ito. But more especially for empowering, educating, and equipping our teachers with the knowledge and skills in teaching and integrating a localized biodiversity toolkit in our curriculum. We commend your commitment in utilizing the developed biodiversity toolkit to share knowledge and promote the protection and conservation of our resources. We at the DNR will continue to undertake and support the promotion of climate change education and public awareness in our country. We are glad that we are producing more and more resources to support our teachers in gaining knowledge, skills, and background to effectively teach environmental education by developing a curriculum that stresses inquiry and interaction between humans and our environment and natural resources. We can develop the skills our young people will need to sustain green and structural changes. Maraming salamat po. Keep safe and keep well.
Biodiversity, samot-saring buhay. Our country teems with richness of natural resources and diversity of life. As a mega-diverse country, we have a huge role in keeping a part of the 70% of all life forms on Earth, which are distributed in the 17 mega-diverse countries of the world. Our protected areas with its forests, wetlands, caves, and marine resources abound with impressive biodiversity. As we commemorate the celebration of the International Day for Biological Diversity on May 22, 2021, along with 197 parties of the Convention on Biological Diversity, may we remember our roles as educators to pass on the torch to the next generation who will serve as our future environmental stewards and defenders. The celebration of the International Day for Biological Diversity in the past served as a prime opportunity to gather like-minded people and sectors in biodiversity conservation. Our young people would have taken advantage of the summer season to organize and join biodiversity camps and other similar activities, if not for this pandemic and the restrictions that go along with it. The current pandemic made such gatherings difficult, if not impossible, to conduct, but no pandemic can keep us apart in pursuing our common goal of protecting our biological diversity. This year's theme for the International Day for Biological Diversity, "We are part of the solution," is a continuation of the momentum generated last year under the overarching theme, "Our solutions are in nature." The COVID-19 pandemic is a stark reminder for all of us to heal our scarred relationship with nature. Real healing comes not only from the vaccines developed or future medicines that can combat COVID-19, but with our rekindled relationship with nature. Indeed, our solutions can be found in nature, and we can all be part of the solution. The Biodiversity Management Bureau extends our felicitations to the Department of Education on the launch of the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers today, as we commemorate the 2021 International Day for Biological Diversity. The toolkit provides information on the richness of the Philippine biodiversity. It will zoom in on topics such as the 3 levels of biodiversity, the ecosystem services, which will derive from biodiversity, biodiversity threats, as well as the governance, research, and conservation initiatives to conserve our biological diversity. This project is truly commendable and timely as it reflects the educator's role in being part of the solution. Teachers play an important role in imparting knowledge to their students and in building a positive attitude towards biodiversity conservation. The Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers will equip our educators with updated information and practical activities, which will guide them in making their students understand the meaning of biodiversity, not just in theory, but as an integral part of our everyday lives. I am confident that through this toolkit, young minds will be molded with love and genuine concern for biodiversity, as well as inspire future conservation experts. Let us always remember that we share a common home and are intricately weaved with all life forms. Magkakaugnay ang buhay natin. Bawat kilos mo may epekto. Congratulations and happy International Day for Biological Diversity.
Thank you so much, Undersecretary Te and Director Ortiz. I could just imagine how blessed this generation of learners and teachers are with the launch now of the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit. And again, as Ms. Cynthia had said, we hope it is being used for the purpose that it was created for. Now, let's welcome Director Ronilda Arco, Director 4 of DepEd DRMS, for her closing remarks. Director Ronnie?
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, sa ating mga teachers, ng teaching personnel, sa ating mga learners at mga magulang. The Philippines is a country with rich biodiversity. Naalala ko, I once worked actually sa Mindanao. At doon, na-appreciate ko po talaga ang yaman ng ating kalikasan. Dahil ako ay naglibot sa aking trabaho on watershed and resource management sa Mindanao, nakita ko ang yaman ng ating mga kagubatan, ng ating mga ilog, and how they are being taken care of actually by our indigenous communities. Pero nakita ko rin doon, at makikita natin sa ating kasalukuyang panahon na marami ang challenges sa ating kalikasan. We have, of course, exploitation, pollution, and we also have climate change. In the midst of changing climate, our biodiversity may be destroyed by extreme weather events like typhoons and drought, ocean acidification, and sea level rise. Yung mga alala ko, those fond memories of trekking along mountains and rivers. Siguro mahirap na yon, no? Noong panahon nga na nandoon ako, medyo marami na makikita mo sa Mindanao. Marami na ang mga nasira sa ating kalikasan. But we all know that whatever it is left that we enjoy today might not even be experienced by the next generation. Nonetheless, protecting our biodiversity can be an effective way to reduce the impacts of climate change, both as an adaptation and mitigation tool. Hindi natin pwedeng hayaan na tuluyang mawala yung ating munting mga karanasan ng kagandahan ng kalikasan, pero mismo ang buhay na itinudulot nito sa atin. With makakalikasan as one of the core values of the department, the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service continues to explore innovative ways to assist teachers in empowering learners towards action. The DepEd DRMS partnered with the Biodiversity Society of the Philippines to produce the Samot-Saring Buhay, a toolkit on biodiversity. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who had been involved in this project, especially the biodiversity photographers who shared their photos and the specialists who reviewed the toolkit. Despite the adversity faced by our biodiversity, we invite our teachers to be beacons of hope and agents of change for our biodiversity. Education plays a vital role in preventing, halting, and reversing the degradation of ecosystems. We hope that through the toolkit, teachers will be aided in delivering biodiversity-related competencies and integrating biodiversity concepts in the classroom, whether in person or at a distance. Sana po magamit ng ating mga guro, maipakita sa ating mga mag-aaral ang kahalagahan ng biodiversity sa pagbibigay buhay sa atin bilang mga humans, no? Dito sa daigdig. Because the ecosystems do provide services that sustain life on Earth, including ours. Indeed, we are blessed to bear witness to our diverse ecosystems. Our biodiversity is one of our country's greatest assets, along with the people and most especially the youth. May we work with our young people towards ecosystem restoration. After all, the future belongs to the next generation. Let us leave an earth that the next generation can cherish and cultivate. Let us ensure that our memories with the earth can still be experienced by the next generation, perhaps for them to create even better ones. Muli, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, Director Ronnie. As someone from Mindanao, I can attest to the beauty of nature. I wake up to nature every single day, and I want to keep it for myself, for my children, for the next generations to come. And definitely, this is a great way forward. As she said, as Director Ronnie said, let us ensure that our memories with the earth can still be experienced by the next generation, perhaps for them to create even better ones. I got goosebumps right there. Maraming salamat, Director Ko. Now, it has been a great day for knowing some concepts of biodiversity and its connectedness to climate change. We hope you will be able to apply and share your learnings today and inspire other people. Now, just a reminder to our top 5 winners in the Quiz B, please send a screenshot of your Menti to DRRMO plus CCAM at depe.gov.ph. As of now, we have received the details of Alon, but for the 4 others, to the remaining top 4 winners, please send a screenshot of your Menti to DRRMO plus CCAM at deped.gov.ph. Thank you very much. Now, for those of you who joined us today, please answer the evaluation form at bit.ly/pbteval. That's flash on your screen. Again, that's bit.ly/pbteval. I think that's case sensitive, so make sure you put capital P, B, and T. Make sure to input the correct name and email address, as your certificate of participation will be sent to that email. The evaluation form, once again, will only be open until tomorrow, May 22. The certificate will be released on or before the 3rd week of June. Please be patient as we process your certificates. Now, to get a copy of the Biodiversity Toolkit, please answer the evaluation form or sign up at bit.ly/depedcce. Again, that's bit.ly/depedcce. You can also follow DepEd Philippines and BCSP on Facebook for updates. The toolkit will be available in, drumroll, July. Now, the Samot Saring Buhay Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit for Teachers launch is brought to you by the Department of Education through the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service and the Biodiversity Conservation Society of the Philippines, with the support of the DepEd Public Affairs Service. Our activity was provided Filipino Sign Language interpretation by Ms. KZ Miroy and Ms. Aimee Adiwang. Thank you so much. It was a great way to share the screen with you. I am honored. Thank you very much, Ms. KZ and Ms. Aimee. It's been a great day for knowing some concepts of biodiversity again, and it's interconnected to climate change. We hope that you get a hold of the Philippine Biodiversity Toolkit, and remember always that we are part of the solution against the biodiversity issues that we are all facing. Again, I'm your host, Val Emil Vestille from the Association of Young Environmental Journalists, or ayej.org. Now signing off. Stay safe, drink your water, be well, Go out and spread love. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.